So, good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the virtual session for this inorganic chemistry 3. Dear students, we have been doing certain aspect of the material science where we used to have different types of the inorganic polymers, and these polymers are of immense applications and importance, and we have been exploring these materials in various sectors, which includes certain water technology, which includes certain uh, applications in high performance type of the materials can be prepared. And you have seen that some of these materials seems to be biocompatible also. Okay, we used to have the application where we can implant such type of material within the body for some certain specific purpose. Okay, so I'm just going to pull certain questions regarding the same aspect. So just wait. Which of the following So this is one pool question. Which of the following polymeric material is used in water technology? So we have been using certain class of materials where we explore different types of the material for certain specific applications. Okay, so in certain cases you will find that these materials seems to be a very important and act as a smart material for that particular application. So when you look into the inorganic polymeric substances, so there are certain specific materials which has a tendency to carry out the treatment process, and they are heavily exploited and explored in the area of water technology. So still 26 students are not responding. Are you getting my question? So just raise your hands, dear students, just to confirm that my sound is audible to all of you. Just raise your hands whether sound is audible to all of you. Okay. So I'm just going to close the poll within few seconds. Still 22 students are not responding at all. So there are many students who are not responding. Ayushi, Ashina, Aryan, Chelsea, Ankita, Kritika, Khushbu, Nikhil, Rishabh, Swati Sapna, Tisha, Toshita, Vidhi, Vikas. So dear student, just put your response in the given pool box. Okay. Okay, okay. So now I think it is okay. So the correct response for this given pool question is the the first option. Phosphogenes are the group of inorganic polymer which used to have a specific application in water technology. We used to have the purification of water, and these materials are heavily exploited for that purpose. Okay, so these are nothing but a phosphorus nitrogen based compounds, the polymeric substances. Okay, and these are used in the water purification. Okay, so this is the correct option for the given pool question. Similarly, you can have the another pool. Which of the following is used as used so this is the another cool question. So there are certain medical application of certain polymeric compounds, okay, and they preferably used as an implant, means the material which can be installed within the living system because of the quality that it has. These materials are biocompatible with the living system. Okay, so there are certain pacemakers, there are certain other things which is made up of certain inert material and should have the compatibility when you insert those uh, apparatus or item within the living system for a specific purpose. It is not going to harm, but because of its biocompatibility, you will not face any problem. Okay, so there are certain group of molecules or group of materials which is explored for this purpose. So I am going to close the pool. The correct option is the first one. Okay, so this is the first option is the correct option. Because of the biocompatibility, you can have a material made up of such polymeric substance which can be explored for the purpose of preparing certain specific items or the apparatus. So the next question, which of the following So just wait, I am just pulling the question. So respond to the given pool question. We have certain inorganic component which matches certain properties with the benzene, and it includes many parameters which levels its behavior with the benzene. Okay, so you know that benzene is a aromatic compound and have a certain tendency for the reactions, and it used to have the delocalization of pi electrons. Okay, similarly we have certain inorganic molecule which used to have similar behavior, not the exact one but it exhibit the similarity in the property, and this property leads to coin this molecule as an inorganic benzene. Okay, so this is the name coined because of the property and the similarity which is exhibited by this molecule with respect to the benzene. So I'm going to close the pool. The correct option is the first, which is also known as borazine. Okay. So this known to be the molecule which exhibit this type of the property, and it has the peculiar behavior because of certain properties which led to called it as a inorganic benzene. So I am just launching another cool question. Which of the following characteristics of borazine matches with benzene? Okay, so one component is the inorganic, another is your organic component. So what is the similarity you will have when you look into the, so I'm just pulling the question. Just wait, I'm just pulling the question. So we have seen that how many things you can have when there is some sort of a similarity. So you can have the situation which will compel you to think that why these used to have the similarity in their property and in their reactions also. Okay, so this is your another cool question. Okay, Which of the following characteristics of the borage matches with the benzene? Okay, you know that when we look into the structure of the borazine, you have the alternate bonding of nitrogen and boron. Okay, so this alternate arrangement is in the hexagonal form, and you will have the delocalization of the electronic cloud. Okay, so I'm just talking about the electronic cloud. You have two types of the bond formation. So this there is a bond formation of the boron with the nitrogen. You have single bond and double bond. Okay, and the delocalization of the electronic cloud is taking place within the hexagonal structure of the borazine. Okay, and this matches with that of the aromatic structure, that is benzene. But what type of cloud undergo the delocalization, that is a very important. Okay, so here the correct option for the given pool question is the second option. Okay, second option is the correct option. Okay, so this is the actual way of delocalization of the cloud, because you can see that when we have the situation like this is your structure, this is the structure. Here it is boron, then nitrogen, then boron, then nitrogen, then boron, then nitrogen. Okay, so the delocalization of the electronic cloud will be taking place among these atomic structures of this molecule. Okay, and these are the delocalization of pi electron cloud. Okay, so this structure is similar to that of the benzene, where similar delocalization take place. Okay, so this is benzene and this is borazine. Okay, so this is the behavior you can have. The difference that you will find when you look into these two structures, the addition reaction is least here. Okay, whereas this may undergo certain addition reaction when you add or react certain molecule just like HCl. Okay, so you can expect the reaction to be proceed in a forward direction. Okay, so this may be the reason. So now another pool question you can have regarding the other aspect, which of the following, which of the following is a Lewis acid? I am talking about the concept of the acid and base in terms of the Lewis concept. Okay, as you know that we have a wide range of concepts which used to explain the acid and base character of any species. So one of them is a Lewis aspect. Okay, acid may be acid, but as per the Lewis, it defined that the species which is electron deficient in. Okay, so you can have the situation which can explain the concept of the acid and base on the basis of Lewis. Okay, so the first option is the correct option. Okay, so this is the correct option. As you know that we have wide range of the application of every concept, and you cannot have the single concept which can rationally explain all the behavior of moiety as a acid and bases. Okay, so you have to have certain uh, concept that should be applicable at certain point. Okay, in molten state you have to have the different flux flood concept which used to explain the acidic and basic character of moiety. Okay, so this is one aspect. Now just looking into the another aspect out of okay, if you have a reaction of two species oxide reacting with another oxide, okay, and there is a formation of the molecule. I'm just putting this one in this way because it is difficult to put the equation in the pool question. Okay, so in this which of the in this which of the following moiety species is acting as base. Okay, this is your pool question. So there is a reaction between the calcium oxide and silicate. Okay, so you have to think about the concept which can be applied here so as to define certain species as acid or certain species as base. Okay, so here I'm just giving you the hint that we have to look into the acid base concept in terms of the acceptance and donation of the oxide ion. Okay, which will define which of the species is going to be a acid and which species is going to be a base. So the correct option is the second option. Okay, it is donating its oxide ion to the another species, and that species is acid. So it act as a base. Okay, so oxide donor is base, and oxide acceptor is act as a acid. Okay, so this is how you can apply the different types of the concepts so as to define the species as acid and base. Okay, so dear students, today we have to have another unit which we are going to start. Okay, so this unit is related to the basic concepts which you have studied. So just wait. Okay, so this is your second unit. So this second unit is divided into two components. First component is the nanomaterials. Okay, we have basically bulk material which we usually explore for variety of the applications. But when you scale down these material up to nano level, its property drastically change, and you can have a better application because of the silent and characteristics property of these materials which they adopt at the nanoscale. Okay, so in this unit you will have the overview of nanostructures, nanomaterials, classification and preparation of gold and silver nanoparticles, and assembled nanostructures, control of nano architect, one dimensional control, carbon nanotubes, inorganic nanowires, bioinorganic nanomaterials, DNA and nanomaterials, natural and artificial nanomaterials, and bio nanocomposites. So these are the some of the topics which will be a part of the second unit. Okay, whereas we have the another important part of this second unit, that is the metallurgical processes. Okay, principle of metallurgy. Okay, it will include the occurrence of metal based on the standard electrode potential. Okay, Elifigum diagram, Eligum diagram, and for the reduction of metal oxide using carbon and carbon monoxide as a reducing agent. There are certain reductive processes which usually involve in the metallurgical process, just like your electrolytic reduction, hydrometallurgical processes with the standard to uh, have the certain processes just like your cyanide process for silver and gold, method of purification of metals, electrolytic process, Van Arkel de Bore process, and Moore's process, and Joule refining. So these are the part of the metallurgical aspect which you will going to have during the second unit. Okay, so we will have the topics related to this just to discuss that these are the part of the second unit. Okay, so when we look into the second component, okay, what is basically a metallurgy? Okay, so metallurgy is a domain of material. Okay, you cannot say that metallurgy is a single branch, but it is a domain of material science and engineering. Okay, it is a domain of material science and engineering. So it is a combination of two aspect or two fields. Metallurgy is the domain of material science and engineering that study the physical and chemical behavior of metallic elements, okay, their intermetallic compounds and their mixtures, which known to be a alloy. Okay, so how the metal and its compound can behave and how they can be separated out. Okay, all that will be encompassed by this metallurgical process. Okay, so it involves the material, these are the metal and its ore and its compounds, and the engineering which is used to extract these materials and elements from these ores, and how these can be explored for number of applications through certain uh, methods which can either purify or which can be used to get a suitable um, substance which can be explored by this metallurgical process. Okay, so when you look into the metallurgical aspect, so it involves basically three steps. First, we have to have the concentration of the ores, then isolation of metal from the concentrated ores, and third, after having the metal, it has to be purified, because metal in the crude state is not a purified one. It contains wide range of impurity which may be in small amount, but it will affect the property of that particular metal. So it has to be purified. Okay, purification may be up to much lower level, it may be up to very high level. Okay, just like your zone refining, we used to have the different processes which can eliminate the impurities from the metal at the trace level also. Okay, so you have a number of the methods which can be applied for the purpose of removing these impurities to get the pure metallic substance. Okay, so these are the basic three methods you will usually find when we talk about the metallurgical aspect. Okay, so the basic terminology you will find in metallurgy, what are minerals? Okay, so minerals are basically a solid, natural occurring inorganic substances formed by geological processes. Okay, so whenever we look for any extraction process in the metallurgy, we have to have certain elements which is not in the isolated form. Okay, so these materials or metals used to exist in combined state. Okay, so we have to extract the metals from the combined state. Okay, so for that purpose you should have the minerals, but all the minerals are not not used for the extraction purpose, but there are certain minerals which known to be ores. Okay, which are rich in certain elements and its compound in which we are interested. Okay, so ores are natural occurring solid material or minerals from which we can obtain metal. Okay, or any valuable mineral which can be extracted. Okay, so all the ores are minerals, but all the minerals are not ores. Okay, ores are those where we can economically extract the element or mineral for our interest. Okay, means where the input of the energy or the cost is comparatively low. Okay, you may have certain elements which may present in many minerals, but that mineral cannot be called as a ore, because when you apply certain methods, so the cost will be very high, and the time required for the extraction will be also very high, and ultimately you will get a minute quantity of that particular element or mineral. Okay, so you have to have a proper ore which can be explored for the purpose of extraction. Okay, of certain material or certain elements or metal. Okay, similarly in the metallurgy we used to have certain other substances, the chemicals which is used as a cleaning agent for the purification of ores. Okay, so these are known as a flux. Okay, it is a chemically cleaning agent used for the purification of ore. Okay, so basically you should know what is mineral, then you should know what type of the material can be explored by the metallurgical aspect. So we have to look into the ores rather than the mineral. Ore is a concentrated aspect where we can beneficially extract the element or the mineral of our interest. Okay, so for that purpose you have certain chemicals which is known to be a flux for the purification, and you can have the another terms which you will usually find when you proceed to study certain aspect of a metallurgy. There is a slug formation. Okay, so slug is a waste material separated from the metals during the extraction of ores. Okay, so you have ore, you carry out the process, then you are obtaining certain metal or its compound, and along with that there is unnecessary or useless waste material, and that waste material is known to be a okay, so this is separated during the extraction process. Okay, gangue particles in mining. Gangue is the commercial worthless material that surrounds the ore. Okay, so it can be easily separated by some physical techniques. Okay, so this is different with respect to this the upper one. Okay, so this is, you can separate easily. This is separated as a waste material. Okay, from the metal during the extraction of the ore. Okay, so this separation of mineral from the gangue particle is known as a mineral processing. How you can obtain the maximum amount of the substance for the metallurgical applications. Okay, so you have to have the different methodology which can be applied. Okay, so when you look into the technique, just like the metallurgical aspect. Okay, so this technique is a extractive technique. It is a process of removing the material or undesirable particles from the ore, leaving behind the required metal. So we have various methodology which can be applied. It may be hydraulic washing, okay, it may be the magnetic separation, it may be flotation, it may be leaching. So these are the aspects where you can extract the ore particle which can be further used in the metallurgical aspect. Okay, so these are the basic steps which you have studied at your plus 2 level and you are well aware of all these steps. So this is a recapitulation what you have did at your undergraduate level, means at plus 2 level, what are the different basics. Yeah, so you have did this one. So this is just a reflection or overview of the whole aspect. Okay, so you know that in the nature metal hardly exists in a pure state. Either the metal used to exist in the form of certain combined form. Okay, so this is your metal. If you keep metal as such, it will have tendency to bind with some suitable reagent or agent. Okay, then it form combined state. Okay, so in nature you will mostly find these metals in a combined state as oxide, as sulfide, okay, as carbonate. Okay, so there are wide range of ores which may exist as oxides. There are wide range of ores which exist, or the metal which exist as a sulfide or carbonate. Okay, so why they used to exist? Because in this form, in the nature, they are unstable and they combine with certain other suitable molecule, just like to form oxide, sulfide, or carbonate. Okay, so our purpose is to revert this process. Okay, whatever combined state we have, we want to revert this process by having suitable methodology, metallurgical process. That combined state, that is the ore, should be converted into pure metal. Okay, so that is our basic purpose. But metal as such is not present in the nature. There are few metals, those are noble metals. Okay, these have a certain tendency that they can exist up to certain level as such, but later on you will find that even the noble metals are also exist in certain combined state. Okay, so you will have wide range of ores, just like aluminum can exist in wide range of oxides, hydroxides. You can see we have bauxites. So iron exists in different oxide form. Okay, it can be. So you can have the element which may exist in different forms. You have oxides, just like iron exist in different oxides. Okay, so you will have wide range of oxides which is formed by other elements also. Similarly, iron can also exist in carbonate. It exists in a combined form, just like carbonate, sulfide. Okay, copper similarly exists as a sulfide, as a carbonate, as an oxide. Okay, so you will have different combined form. Similarly, zinc, sulfide form, carbonate form, oxide form. Okay, So our purpose is to convert back this situation to obtain this pure metal. Okay, so that is a basic objective of the metallurgy here. Whatever ores are there with the metal which exists in a combined state has to be extracted. If it is in combined state, it has to be processed so that we can obtain the metal, crude metal, which later on purified by certain method. Okay, so this all is about the methodology, and that methodology is covered by metallurgical process. Okay, so this is a domain of material science and engineering. Okay, chemists used to play important role because we know that what type of the ore exists and what type of the chemical and other reaction can take place in a conducive environment to obtain these metals. Okay, which is early exist as a combined state. Okay, so you can have the different processes, metal and its extraction technique varied. So you can have wide range of active metals which can be extracted by certain electrolysis. There are certain metals which are not that much active, so you can have different processes. So you can have reaction with the carbon or carbon monoxide. Similarly, there are certain metals which are not that much reactive. Some of them are noble metals, so their extraction can be possible by suitable chemical reaction. Okay, so you can have the situation where you can explore such type of the methodology. So there is a pyrometallurgical process. Okay, so what is pyrometallurgy? Is a branch of extractive metallurgy. It consists of the thermal treatment of the minerals and metallurgical ores and concentrates to bring about the physical and chemical transformation in the material to able recovery of valuable metals. Okay, so basically here in this case, when we look into pyrometallurgical process, pyro is related to the heat, so it involves the heat treatment of the minerals or the ores so as to obtain the pure matter. Okay, so it is much suitable for the less reactive metals, just like the iron, copper, zinc, chromium, tin, and manganese. Okay, so you can have the application of this type of the process in case of the metals which are comparatively less stable if you compare with the alkali metals which are which seems to be very active metals. Okay, so we prefer to use this process for the comparatively less reactive matters. Okay, so dear students, this is a little bit about the introductory part of the metallurgical aspect. Rest of the things we will discuss in the coming lecture. So thank you to all of you. Now you can just leave the session, so we will have the discussion on the relevant aspect of the metallurgy in the coming session. Okay, thank you to all of you. Now you can just leave the session.